Okay guys, welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at the Mach 15 Losi engine that's out of the XXXNT, which you guys saw run yesterday. Obviously it is worn out, so we're going to have a look to see why it's worn out. The compression feels fine when it's cold, but when it warms up, and I think I've mentioned this before, the sleeve will expand and it will lose compression. Obviously, it doesn't matter how cool you keep it. It's 24 years old. It's, par for the course to happen, right? So, anyhow, let's, any more freaking distractions here. Anyways, let's get on with it. There we go. Took me a second to get organized. So let's pop this pull starter off here really quick. And I think I'd made point in one of my videos, or several of them, about taking pull starters off carefully, because the spring can go twang and fly all over the place and really piss you off. So what we want to do is take yourself like a little flat screwdriver. These little still tuning screwdrivers are awesome. Let's see, there's a part number on there. Kind of see it. Anyway, take this and then slip it down like that, and that will keep the spool in there with the string on it from going poing and flying all over the place. See, there you go. Because these are not captured. There's like on this OS behind me, or behind where I'm working at here, there's like a plastic shield right here, like halfway, and it keeps this from flying out. These SH ones and a lot of other pull starters don't have that, so just something to keep in mind. Anyhow, moving on. Also, don't lose the cushion spring, or your screws, or your mind, or anything else. Freaking not sure what engine I'm gonna put in that XXXNT yet, because this guy's freaking completely done. I might throw a little 12 OS sitting by my hand there in it. We'll see. That's if the crank is the right length and all that kind of stuff. Freaking some people. That's not your RC car running. No shit. That sounds like a two-stroke. Well, last time I checked, these RC engines are two-stroke, so that makes sense. Anywho, doesn't look too bad in there. A little bit of rust in the crank, but that doesn't matter too much. I'm gonna pause if I keep forgetting here. Hold on. Alright, back at it. So we got all the screws out here. And take our head button off. Oh, it's kind of stuck. Thing. Come on. Oh, really stuck. There we go. Just stuck with varnish. Just pulling by the glow plug. Don't ever try to pry up on these or anything, because you don't want to damage the sealing surface here. Alright, actually, top of that piston looks pretty nice and clean. Let's see, I gotta find myself a zip tie. Be right back. I think I have one over there. Zip tie. I'm gonna go through the exhaust port, like so. And then grab the flywheel, and might have to heat this guy up a little bit. Nope, there it goes. You guys saw it pop up. And it just popped up. Pull the zip tie out, and sometimes, if you're lucky, sometimes you can grab them. I don't recommend prying on these, but sometimes you have to, just a little bit. Just be careful not to break fins off. I don't like prying, but like I said, this engine is completely shot anyways, so I'm really not too worried about that at the moment. There we go. So this is an ABN sleeve. And like I said before, if you're really uncertain about what way the piston goes back in, take yourself a metal scribe or a pin. I already know what way it goes, and just put a little scratch on the back there. Doesn't hurt nothing. And we'll look down here. Lift the connecting rod off the crank, and it will fall right out. Oh, wow. Well, the bearings have play in them anyways. Well, there's some junk. Alright, I'll be back in a moment to show you guys something else. Okay, we're back. Obviously, you can tell. So what I was getting at earlier about ABN, ABL, and ABC. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to take and clean these guys up just a little bit. So they're not so nasty and greasy. Someone's asking, well, what's electrical contact cleaner? Well, it's basically just a really strong alcohol designed for cleaning electrical contacts and circuit boards and things like that. Alright, it's looking a little bit better. Will I rebuild this engine? Probably not, because trying to find the piston and sleeve for one of these is freaking like about as rare as hen's teeth. But anyways, so what do we got? So this guy right here, obviously we can tell these are, this is an SH18 sleeve by the way, but we can see that they look different. Like this one's chrome and shiny looking. This right here is what's called ABN. So aluminum, the piston, brass, which this is made out of, and ABN nickel plated. So this is nickel on here. This is a lot softer material, the plating. It's like almost like chrome, but kind of different. A lot softer. So this plating doesn't last as long. It's not nearly as hard. This is what a lot of manufacturers do when they want to build a cheap engine, because chromium plating is expensive and it can often be quite toxic. But it's the best because it's the hardest. And this one right here is aluminum, brass, chrome, right? So we got aluminum being the piston, brass, which the sleeve is made out of, and then chrome, which is on the inside. So this is a much better design. So that's what that is. Oh yeah, see, it comes right up. Even though it stops at the top like that, the piston doesn't actually travel, for fuck's sake, focus. The piston doesn't actually travel up that far. People go, oh yeah, look, it doesn't come out the end, it's still good. No, you can see where the piston travels to. You see that line right there on the side of the piston? Focus, you fuckhead. So the piston only travels to right where that line stops, right there. So only about that far up in the sleeve. So if you push it and you start to see that line right there, that's past its throw. So that's why it will run. The sleeve physically grows. The compression slips past the piston, because like I said, these are tapered at the top, and the compression blows past the piston, and it warms up and loses all of it and stops running. There's no amount of cooling that you can really do, even if you put a giant cylinder head on it, like a big CPU heat sink or a fan or whatever. It won't fix it. It won't help that at all, sadly. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. So just a paperweight for the time being, but we will have to rob this clutch and flywheel off of this guy to put on that guy, or maybe even this guy. We'll see. What do you guys think? Redhead 12 CV or Bluehead 15 CV? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Really like those red ones. Might even throw this guy there because it's got pretty good. Oh, the weight bearing slips a little bit. It's got really good compression. That engine actually runs fine. I got that for free because the guy put the piston the wrong way around. But this has the Megatech carburetor. You can see the big M on it. The same as the SH18 carbs. These are awesome carburetors for small blocks. They're responsive. They hold a tune really well. They perform great. If you guys have a Traxxas Pro 15 and it's just inconsistent no matter what you do to it, it's usually the carburetors on those are so cheaply made and so overproduced. The throttle barrel often in those will like wobble back and forth even when they're brand new. It's just cheap, right? They just cheaped out as much as they could on that, and it'll be inconsistent all the time and drive you stupid. But if you have one of those, or you have one of these OS carburetors here, I can't remember what are these. I think it's a 10E or something like that. If you have one of these, that's a nice shape, and the boot's not all torn and cracked. You can use the Traxxas Pro 15 boots on here, by the way. Throw one of these carbs on, or an SH18 carb, they freaking run awesome on the Pro 15s. Really, really nice. But so we're gonna steal the mounts off this guy, clutch and flywheel. I might throw that SH18 in there, but I don't feel like breaking another engine right now. So there's some kind of snot. Even smells good. But this will share the same crank, same connecting rod, same bearings as a, what is it, Dynamite 12S? Yeah, 12S and 12 SPD. A lot of the parts are similar between these. And actually, here's the thing. So this guy right here has the same bearing dimensions, rear, front and rear, as this does. So in case you guys have one of these Mach engines and you guys can't find the bearing size for it or vice versa, now you guys know that the bearings for these and the M16, Megatech M16 are all the same bearings. So there you go. And I think the connecting rods between the 15 and the 12 are the same as well. Oh yeah, and something else I wanted to mention while we're sitting here is captured wrist pins. So let's see. I might have to go grab another piston. Give me a minute here. Okay, so captured wrist pins. So we have a Traxxas piston and rod here. It doesn't matter. But what I was talking about in my last video is you can see there's no clip on that side and there's a clip on that side. So it's captured by the piston right here. And if we look at this guy, come on, focus, dickhead. There we go. See, there's a clip there and a clip. Hard to see it. Oh, come on. You can see it there. So this one's not captured by the piston. So this takes two clips. Sometimes, depending on the engine, like this guy here, I'm not going to take it apart, but the piston, instead of having clips, will have a little puck, a little Teflon slider puck on either side to hold it in. And if you lose those pucks, the wrist pin will move over and take out the cylinder, or the sleeve rather, and destroy your engine. Because someone's like, what's the difference between the two? That's the difference. Captured by the piston, non-captured by the piston. Double clip, single clip. Careful, because sometimes it does matter, or sometimes some are like that. And you can push the piston pin right through and it'll fall out the other side, on this one anyway. But generally, if you see how this one is set up, where the clip and the closed side of the pin is on the flat side of the connecting rod, the back side, put it back in the exact same location you took it out in. So if you're going to just replace the piston, for example, put the pin back in the same direction as the rod and the piston. Make sure it's all back together in the same way you took it apart as, because that is important. It doesn't seem like it would be, but it is. Anyways, guys, so just thought I'd show you what was going on in this little Mach 15 here. She's cooked. You guys want to see something really cooked? Look at that. That's even worse. That's what happens when you decide to run 10W30. Well, I'll show you guys the underside. Look at all that carbon in there. That's what happens when you run 10W30 instead of 2-stroke oil on your chainsaw. And instead of letting it warm up, you start it up and floor the shit out of it. So I was able to clean the cylinder up, and we got a brand new piston for it. It's for an MS291 still, just in case you guys are wondering. Anyways, hopefully you guys found that interesting. If not, well, I don't know. But anyways, oh yeah, what else was I going to say here? These do take a short reach plug. So OS number 7, or number 8, or number 6. So anyways, if you guys found that interesting, great on. If you didn't, well, go watch another video. Anyways, guys, as always, thanks for watching. And keep on burning nitro out there. Oh, I hear an idiot out there. It's coming up my driveway. Anyways, guys, later.